5-day work week and how it has worked. And then when we have a holiday, we end up switching and doing it on Saturday as well. So, you know, I think it's going to make a difference out there. We're not sure what that difference will be at this particular time. The courts are another issue. In talking to the court administrator, they were prepared for some furlough days, but this came as a complete shock to them in dealing with actually having City Hall closed one day a week, because that, you know, that even affects our bottom line. What they get in fines and court costs helps offset what we do not have to pay them out of the general fund while they're there. So when you're limiting them by one day, that's going to make a difference with things that are happening with the courts. They're not even sure whether the state Supreme Court administrator will allow them to close one day. Now, one of the things that also came up was they said to them, well, we'll leave City Hall open for the courts. Well, then you're defeating the whole purpose. You're, you know,
keeping the lights on.
You're keeping the lights on. You've got guards that you're paying to be there, but then you have a whole vacant building that is accessible from every single floor to people that are coming to the court system. So I mean, that doesn't seem to me to be something that's worthwhile either. Code compliance. You know, I know code compliance is extremely important in all of the neighborhoods. And Melissa talked about a friend that she was dealing with. If it's not only the weekend that they have to be worried about if a house is red tagged and trying to get back into it, but a Friday, so that means another day that they might not be in there. One of the things that we've heard from developers over and over again is the time it takes for them to put a project together and get a shovel in the ground and permits and all of those things. Those are things that can make a difference. How many have gone on a Friday and picked up a building permit for a roof or something they wanted to do on the weekend? You know, that you know, isn't going to be available. I realize having an extra hour in the day might add to facilitating some of the work being transferred over, but we also know that many of our employees are working already an extra hour after work at night just to get caught up on what they didn't get caught up during the day. So I'm not necessarily sure an extra hour is going to work for them. So we'll have an awful lot of questions for the mayor and for the administration to figure out how this best works. And the bottom line that we need to figure out is, what is the dollar value of that? If the dollar value of closing City Hall, let's say, is $2 million, is there another way to come up with that same dollar value without disrupting the services by closing? We'll have to determine what that is, and right now what we have are a number of concepts from the mayor's office, and it's our responsibility to go through them line by line and determine, you know, whether they make sense or not to the public. Over the years, we've had a number of things, proposals that have come out there, anywhere from eliminating yard waste and not picking up leaves and grass clippings to the fact that, and that went down in flames. So the public said, absolutely not, we're willing to pay more for our yard waste and make sure it was picked up on time. So I think, you know, we're going to want to listen to you. We're going to want to hear from you. What is it that you're willing to change in order to have the services that you expect to have? And that's why we'll make sure that we're coming out to you for budget meetings. We'll be televising our budget discussions with the different departments, so we'll have opportunities for that. My blog will be available for people to comment on, and you can get in touch with council through council emails as well. So there's a number of issues out there as we look at streamlining city government to make sure that it doesn't deteriorate the quality of life in our neighborhoods. I think think that's extremely important, that the quality of life and how we make sure that those things are taken care of. So, does that answer your question, Wes?
It does. Thank you.
Back to, if I could discuss the master plan for the parks, for